Okay, hello everyone, this is Kuroshiro and welcome to Season 22 tier list from me, basically. And then we have 5 different categories. I decided to change one and remove one, which is a 4-man situational. We decided to change it to tie turner instead because of the flywheel effect. So now there is rarely any such thing as a bad survivor. So yeah, it's simply just pretend. But let's get into the tier, shall we? Now that we have 5 tiers. Tier 1 is Priestess and Friends, as we have all know. Tier 2 is Niche, basically all-rounders in general. Tier 3 is Tie Turner. These are characters specifically used, like these are specifically observer characters that help with rebound kiting, which means that they're able to kite for after tide has ended, and even longer, to be fair. Number 4 will be Heartstruck Champion. So these will be survivors that get countered by spawn picks, right? These are just survivors in general that will get countered by spawn picks because, you know, because spawn picking is a thing, Hunter can just directly go for them, and if they are not reliant enough on their kite, then your game is probably just over, which is why your Heartstruck in Champion, it's a little bit harder to get towards Titan or Hydra, because, you know, when you're in Champion, you get matched with Titan survivors or you get matched with Hydra hunters. It's just an open there for you. And benchwarmers are benchwarmers. These are just survivors that are a little bit below average. Like, you can definitely play them, but there are better options out there. And then let's get into it, shall we? And then first and foremost, we will have Doctor. Doctor is considered as a bench warmer because there are better options out there. Of course, Doctor counters chip hunters, right? Because she gets the 25% or 50% speed boost after getting chipped, which is great. But all in all, she has to stand still while heal, which is a little bit, you know, luck dependent, because she's based off, you know, pallet luck and, you know, pallet camping, pallet luck, whether you can actually hit the hunter with the pallet or not. And like, even if we take into the fact that she counters chip hunters, now does she really? Because if she relies on pallet camping to heal up, and even if she does get the, you know, bonbon chip or sculptor chip, get your 50% speed boost, bonbon and sculptor can still chip the Doctor when she's moving. She can't heal up, which is why Barmaid is still a better option out there. So Doctor is really underwhelming as a character. She has a vaulting debuff, even though she doesn't get countered by healing debuffs, which is a great adjustment made by NetEast. There's just like current meta hunters, Geisha, Mary, Bonbon Sculptor, Dreamwitch. Well, maybe she counters Dreamwitch, but you know, Dreamwitch won't be chasing a Doctor. There's probably better options out there. And like overall hunters, she only counters the range of Dreamwitch, Undead, Joseph, Hermit. That's about it. But like at the end of the day, Doctor doesn't know who the hunter is gonna be, so like she's way too underwhelming compared to like Barmaid, Priestess, etc, etc. Now, next on the tier list we will have Lawyer. Lawyer will be considered as a Heartstruck champion simply because of spawn picks as well. You of course can pick him in low mid tier, but once you get into champion and you get spawn location picks, of course you can see where the hunter spawns, but that also means that the hunter knows where you spawn, so it's gonna be a little harder for you to hide away, right? Lawyer overall has a decoding buff, which is great. It's more of a, you know, as the game goes on, his decoding gets faster, but that's only when he touches the cipher. He doesn't get terror shocked, which is great, but all in all, that's kind of like the only thing that he has on his kite. He does not get terror shocked. That's the only thing he has. He doesn't have items to protect himself. He only has a map that speeds up decoding and, you know, sees where the hunter is. But once you reach the champion, he's considered a Heartstruck champion because the hunter can just directly go for him. Next we will have Thief. Thief will be considered as a tie turner, right? Because of Thief's new adjustment, I have seen a lot of CN Thiefs, and, you know, their first chasing Thief kinda depends on what hunter you're against. But overall, I think he's a tie turner tier, because if a Thief goes to rescue or if a Thief supports rescue, once the hunter hits the rescuer and then Thief shines the light on them, it's kind of like Novelist. It's kind of like body blocking as Novelist, but even better because the hunter can't look back, and the hunter's skills get nullified, right? So you just have like a thief body blocking in front of the survivor, and then the survivor is behind the thief because thief is flashing his light at survivor. Thief is considered as a very strong observer survivor, which means that he can help other survivors that are on track to rebound kite really well. He nullifies hunter skills, right? And then and hunters can't really turn their back against thieves anymore because they can't hold their skill because he nullifies skills. So there you that's like how I'm gonna summarize it for thief. There's a lot for me to say, but his 40-second flashlight can be prolonged to 60 to 70 seconds because once like it takes 3 seconds to stun the hunter, it takes like 1.5 seconds to nullify the hunter, but after nullifying the hunter's skills there's an extra 5 seconds there for like the hunters which he is unable to use their skill. Of course excitement is a thing, but would you really be using excitement against a thief when like all the other survivors are already hard enough to down? Most likely not. So there's my opinion there on thief, right? I'm just gonna leave it there. You can rebuttal it, you can argue against it. I'm all open for it. Now then, after thief we will have gardener. Gardener, I usually would put gardener on the bench warming community, and I probably still will put her on the bench warming community because gardener's harass only relies on breaking chairs. If there's a lot of chairs around the vicinity, she has to break all the chairs beforehand, and the survivor has to down near the chairs, right? So there's a lot of communication needed in this area. So it's kind of hard for Gardener to actually like, you know, get her harass potential out. And of course Hunter can bring Giant Claw in order to counter that. And, you know, all in all, it's kind of really risky. It's really risky. Of course you can say, well, I can just down near somewhere that has only one chair, like a very far corner where there's only one chair and Gardener can keep harassing. Of course you can do that, but what if you down near middle? What if you down somewhere that's not far away from the chair? That's too much luck dependent, right? And like Gardener's wasting her time, and it's not like it's gonna be a definite rescue because of Giant Claw, and because, you know, maybe Gardener will get downed instead. So Gardener is still considered as a bench warmer for me. Of course, she's a good kiter. She has her 50-second bubble, which allows you to kite for 50 seconds for free early game, of course. But all in all, there's still better options out there compared to Gardener. Next on the tier list, we will have Magician. Magician will be considered as a niche for me. Magician currently owns 3 wands. He doesn't own any. He owns 3 wands. Even after his chair nerf, he's still good because, you know, you don't really need an extra one, if you know what I mean. Because like Magician has 3 wands. Each wand gives him like a 50% speed boost after using it. He can use the wands on choke points. He can use the wands to body block, and once the hunter hits the illusion, the hunter basically gets revealed all over the map for the survivor. So, you know, the harasser can come harasser know where the hunter is, etc, etc. He's an overall really good kiter. Wouldn't put him anywhere above Priestess and Friends for now because he's not really an all-rounder. He can only kite, and of course if he is first chase, great. If he is second chase, great. But if he has never been chased once, he's kind of useless. But like, he's still niche overall because all hunters will be chasing after him anyways, you know, with the likes of Geisha, with the likes of BQ, with the likes of, you know, any high chase hunter in general. He's a very good kiter. Not that much of a good harasser, but, you know, he can at least guarantee kite a 3 cipher, if you know what I mean. Now that is it for Magician. Next we will have Explorer. Explorer will be still considered as a hardstuck champion. Or is still considered as a hardstuck champion. Spawn selection will like matter a lot. Now people are saying, oh wait, why is he hardstuck champion? Because of spawn selection, he can become small. There's this one thing I learned in high tier after like rewatching all my rank matches. I realized depending on the hunter spawn location, the survivor will always spawn in the same location based off the area they chose. So let's take not graveyard, Ever Sleeping Town for example. If the survivor chooses to spawn in graveyard, they will spawn on the very inner side of graveyard. That is only if hunter decides to spawn next to graveyard, right? They will always spawn in that same location. Now, if the hunter learns off all the spawn points, explorer is kind of useless. He can't really hide. He has to run, kind of like mech, but mech is a different story. We'll talk about that later. But like, explorer has to run. He can hide, but hunter's instincts will immediately find him if he decides to hide, because the hunter can just go around the same area to, you know, locate with hunter's instinct where this explorer is, which is, you know, not that difficult once you learn the spawn locations, and the hunter will learn the spawn locations, so good luck with that. Yeah, which is why I'm saying explorer is a little bit hard to champion, because of the spawn point to spawn location, the you know, hunter looking for you. But also, even if hunter doesn't look for you, let's be fairly honest, when you spawn in as explorer, you're always gonna go near a survivor who's on a cipher to dig something out, to dig the pages. And if this survivor is the one who is kiting near you, and you can't dig the pages out, then oofus doofus moment for you, isn't it? But I mean, like in high tier, they usually will kite away from that area, which is great, but on and all, you're still wasting time, you know? Moving on, we will have Mercenary. Mercenary will still be considered as Priestess and Friends. His mini tie time is overall great. Even if he gets hit by detention, the hunter can't really leave him, because, you know, opening gate takes 16 seconds. Mercenary has a 30-second tied extra time after being hit by detention. Mercenary also can't be terror shocked, so he is one of the best rescuers out there, second to first overall. And yeah, really nothing much I can say. 3 elbow pads is still good. I mean, even if, maybe if they reduced him to 2 elbow pads, he's still going to be Priestess and Friends. But yeah, that's Mercenary. Mercy will always be Mercy. Next we will have Cordy. Cordy will be considered as a... Cordy will still be considered as a niche character for me, but below Magician, right? Like Cordy's gun overall, Cordy's gun overall allows the situation to change. But like, she's a good kiter overall as well, because she has no debuffs, and she has no decoding debuffs as well compared to other rescuers. Her gun is basically her tie time, if you guys know what I mean. So basically, you rescue, you gun, the survivor can definitely kite 20 seconds. If they can't kite 20 seconds, that's not on you, that's on them, right? So like, you can run Cordy with Flywheel, you can run Cordy with broken windows, as we've seen with the GG versus GR. PBC has Cordy, an immediate Flywheel gun, the bloody queen, successful kite. She is a niche overall. She can run any persona, right? She can run any persona. She's a rescuer. She can be a decoder as long as no one's on chair. So if no one downs in like 60-70 seconds, she can definitely finish her cipher and go rescue, because she doesn't have that debuff. And all in all, that gun is annoying. I mean, it does get countered by excitement, but like, if you're that one Cordy, right? If you're that one Cordy and the hunter excitements you, what does that mean? That means, great, my teammates can now sell me for the tie, because we know that the hunter has excitement, not blink. Right, and even if they do come to rescue, maybe your teammates will bring an item. If they don't, that's fine. You're basically kiting with windows or with Flywheel and with pallet speed boost. You know that this guy doesn't have blink, you don't have to predict blink. It'll be a little bit easier for you to kite overall. But that simply depends on the hunter as well. Moving on, we have Priestess. Priestess will always be called... Priestess is above Mercenary. We just know in big maps she's OP. Long portals are OP for, you know, a global heal. Very nice portal supports to prolong the kite. We've seen in IBL, tourneys, pro matches. I'm not going to explain that much. She's just Priestess and Friends. Her healing buff is great. Her long portal is great. Her portal in general is great. She may have gotten a 10% stun debuff, but does not matter overall. No, she's not about stunning after going through portal. She's about helping her teammates kite longer, right? Like factory portals, 2-story portals. Ouch for hunters in general. Next we will have Mech. Mech, I'll put Mech a little bit above Mercy just because of her decoding, because decoding does matter after all. Mech is gonna get a buff soon, right? But like, regardless of that, even if she doesn't get a buff, she's still Priestess and Friends. After the spawn, location pick, as we've talked with Explorer before, it doesn't really bother mech, right? Because if the hunter spawned near mech by accident or like by luck, mech puts stall down, hides it, runs away immediately. Hunter has two choices. Choice number one, hit the bot and then start chasing mech when she's like 10,000 miles away. Or choice number two is go chase the mech. Mech will down somewhere far away and the bot will decode safely. That is the two options you have there. And like, if you decide to hit the bot, mech will just deploy another bot, hide it. She has half a bot remaining. She prolongs the kite longer anyway, so like it's already a 3-cipher kite by the time you got your first hit. Let's be fair. And then like if she decides to get chased first instead of getting the bot first, if she kites long enough, it's gonna be like 2 tight and then 4-cipher endgame, 4-man endgame. If she doesn't kite long enough, it's gonna be a tie, right? Because Mercy can just crouch for the tinnitus, and then you have 3 survivors out there to decode 3 ciphers. By the time mech is eliminated, return to the mainer. Second chase will be really hard for the hunter. Why? Because everyone's at max health. You need to hit everyone twice, they have max items. Mech is still Priestess and Friends. Still strong overall. I don't care what any other YouTuber says. Still really strong. In the right hands too, of course. And then moving on, we will have the Mind's Eye. The Mind's Eye will be considered as Heartstruck champion. She is... I mean, she's gonna be here. She's gonna be below, like, these two, right? Mech is Heartstruck champion. Spawn location sucks. You can just have Geisha, Bloody Queen, whatever, teleport to you. You may run Flywheel, because I've seen mech... No, TME running Flywheel is the popularest thing ever. Because it's just great, right? Don't run Windows, run Flywheel, do your tight kite. As a TME, you're supposed to be tight kiting anyways, in God Kite, in Hospital, in Runes, whatever. She's great overall in that. But if you're against a high chase hunter, which is highly likely to happen, especially if you pick TME, you're going to be against a high chase hunter, and they know where you spawn, you're screwed. Haha, you're screwed. Sadly, you are screwed. So yeah, TME... she's a good decoder. That's only if she doesn't get chased, but because of spawn picking, she's gonna get chased. So yeah. Now moving on, we will have Forward. Forward will be considered as Priestess and Friends. I don't need to explain why. He's the second best rescuer overall because of his harass. So he's a tight turner, he's a niche at kiting, and he's a great rescuer. Right, he has a 20% rescuing buff, which is really hard for someone to really like terror shock him. So I don't really need to explain. He's great kite, great rescue, able to harass, rebound kite. He's basically a tight turner, but even better. So yeah, that's really it for Forward for me. Next we have Perfumer. Perfumer will be considered as a niche, but not higher than Coordinator, because like we have Flywheel Perfumer, right, which is great overall, but Perfumer still gets countered by chip hunters. Even, well, Bomb mainly. Garachi depends on how accurate your statues are, right? Because Perfumer can just take the normal hits, Flywheel, and then Perfume again. And like, because of Flywheel, she's niche, right? She's not that low. Because of Flywheel, she's niche. I think even if there's no Flywheel, she will still be niche, which is, you know, great overall for Perfumer. She can tank hits if she knows how to tank it well. She can body block if she knows how to body block well. But the only problem is she doesn't have any support or harass. She's not an observer player, she's a full kite. But when she kites really well, which is why she's a niche on the right hands, of course, with all of these survivors. Now then, moving on, we will have Cowboy. Cowboy will be considered as a tight turner for me, and let me explain this to you why I decided to put him as tight turner. Cowboy is great overall. Like, we've seen Flywheel Cowboys to harass the hunter. We've seen like Cowboy's main goal is that he's an observer character. He helps rebound kiting, he helps harassing, he helps balloon rescuing. He's an okay kiter, just not better than any of the niche that we've been talking about right now. Why? Like, the only places where he lasts is pallets, right? Pallets and ciphers. Those are the 2 places only. So like for high chase hunters in general, you can predict where he's gonna go. For like chip hunters in general, you can predict where to put your chips, right? And like his main like ability is balloon rescuing and supporting and harassing. That's about it for him. He has an okay like hiding ability, but not the best. Not the best. That's really all what I can say about him. He's very scary when it comes to balloon rescuing, air rescuing, but balloon rescuing mainly, etc, etc. Body blocking, like lassoing the survivor, and then tanking the hit for the female survivors. But his kite is not as good as we all wish it was, but it is still good enough for someone to kite at least 2.5 ciphers. But you know, kind of hard overall. Like, I may be wrong on Cowboy, but that's just my opinion. He's a strong tide turner. I decide not to put him on niche anymore just because I feel like there's like, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't really know how to explain. He's just a tide turner for me. Really good harass, but kiting overall is okay, not at the niche level, just overall okay, let's say. Moving on, we will have Female Dancer. Female Dancer will be considered as a tide turner for me. I decided not to put her on niche anymore because, like, once a female dancer's music box gets destroyed, she's no items left. Of course, that wastes a lot of time, right, for the hunters, but most meta hunters now are really high chase hunters. Nayid, BQ, Mary. Yeah, Nayid, BQ, Geisha, Dream Witch, Clerk. So after you break the pallet, she's basically itemless. However she wants to kite depends on her. She's tide turner because of her slow music boxes. Her fast music box will only be used for decoding. It will never be used for kiting. Kiting is always slow music box regardless, which is why she counters Sculptor so damn hard. But overall, other hunters who have high chase, not really. She can put 3 music boxes down immediately to slow the hunter's attack animation down when she goes rescue, and you know, to slow the hunter's movement speed down to help her survivors rotate to somewhere better, which is why I believe she's tide turner. Not niche, she's tide turner. Mainly based off of how good she places her slow music box, to be fair. Next on the list, we will have Seer. Seer will still be Priestess and Friends even after the 15 seconds to 8 seconds nerf on the Owl. I don't think it really mattered, right? The only thing that, like let's be fair, right? If Seer wants to transition from one area to another area, it does not take more than like 8 seconds to rotate to that area. The only reason why Nai's decide to nerf from 15 to 8 seconds is because when they successfully rotate to this certain area, they will stand there and wait just before the 15 second is gone, vault the window, or even put down the pallet, which is fairly annoying to the hunters. So like, even after the 8 second nerf, it doesn't really matter. You can have 8 seconds to rotate to a new pallet, to a new window, to a new kiting area. Does not matter, unless you're in the most worst area ever, then that's basically why you kiting here. If you know what I mean. If you come here, then it means you're willing to die, right? And if they bait the owl, they bait the owl. It is what it is. You decided to kite here. It's technically speaking your fault. So yeah, that's really it for me on Seer. Still Priestess and Friends. Really good overall. Next on the list, we'll have Embalmer. Embalmer will be considered as a hard sub champion, but a little bit higher than Lawyer, Explorer, and TME. Reason being that when you choose him, you're basically going for a tie. You're not going for the win. Bro, I'm just gonna put this out. If you're gonna play Embalmer, 95% of your games is going to be a tie unless you're really bad randoms. Right, 95%. Well, let's say 90. Let's say 90. Right, just giving the benefit of the doubt. 90% of your games are gonna be ties, unless it's get thrown, or unless you get a really good survivor who knows how to kite 3 ciphers. Then you know what? Great for you. But he's also hard sub champion because of spawn selection as well, because Hunter knows where he spawns, so he's definitely going to be first chased, immediately down, and they know where the coffin is, so they can just chair near the coffin, chair towards the coffin, and then run towards the coffin if Embalmer embalms himself. So yeah, that's really my take on Embalmer right there. Next on the list, we will have Prospector. Prospector is a part of Tide Turner. His kite is good overall, but if he gets chased first, he's basically screwed because he has only 1 magnet. And if he uses that magnet too fast and he can't get his second magnet up, then it's really hard to kite 3 ciphers for Prospector. So giving the benefit of the doubt that he has 2 magnets and a flywheel, he can kite 3 ciphers no problem, but after that is going to be a little bit harder than you expect. Because of Blink as well from the Hunter, if you know what I mean, right? And then like, he's a good tie turner as well because he very good harasser, I guess. After Ench nerf, yeah, I mean, he's still a good tie turner overall. Let's just be fair on that one. Nothing really much I can say. I basically said what I wanted to say. He has the metal speed boost, blocker, cipher speed boost that he can use to his advantage. But all in all, he is an okay / good kiter. Not better than the niche that we've been talking about, but also a good observer character, a good tie turner character, which is why his kite is not that great because he can harass quite well, like 3 magnets, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean it does get countered by excitement, but you've 3 magnets, man. Okay, okay, they examine your first magnet. Oh, what happens after rescue? You still have 2 magnets to harass, haha. So yeah, that's Prospector for tie turner for me. Next we will have Ench. Ench will be niche, but not above Magician in my opinion. Her only nerf was that she gets a 33% debuff on curse recharge when a survivor is near her. That basically just means you're not that much of a strong observer character, but she's kind of an tie turner character herself, because if she decides to not use the curses during kite, or if she only uses 1, by the time she's down she'll still have 3 curses, because like it's fairly fast. You can get your curses you can get your first 3 curses fairly fast, let's be fair. Maybe 40-second kite and your 3 curses are already ready. You use 1 curse and then they hit you and then you down, you still have 3 curses. You're kind of like on your own observer character. After you get rescued, you can immediately use your triple stack and proceed the kite even longer. But even if you don't, then you know that's fine. You did what you had to do down near a corner, yada yada yada. She's definitely a 60-second kite character to me, especially when flywheel suits her the most. Right, I don't see anyone running windows on her. It's flywheel all the way. So that's my opinion on Enchantress. Next on the list we have Wildling. He's bench warming. He's probably worse than Doctor and Garter, and I know people are going to be mad at me for saying it. They increased his decoding time, but they reduced his spore time. It's great on me. It's great news for me as a hunter, but it's really bad news for the survivors overall because the spore time gets reduced. There has been a lot of mixed feelings. I mean, the hunters are happy, the survivors are just mad. But in exchange, his decoding gets increased by 10%, so it's from a 30-second decoding debuff to 20% decoding debuff. But yeah, he's like a bench warmer amongst the rescuing community. Next on the list we have Acrobat. Acrobat is considered a niche, a little bit higher than Ench. Well, I mean higher than Magician as well, because Acrobat can get 4 balls. 3 balls early game and 1 ball if you decide to be first kite. You can definitely kite 60 seconds with 3 balls. You can go flywheel on him, you can run windows on him, you can run tide on him. He's basically an all-rounder. Not Priestess and Friends because he can't really harass. I can't really see him harassing that well because, you know, Hunter knows how to counter his mud ball, yada yada yada. He's just overall a niche kiter. I don't really know what else I can say about him. Moving on, we will have First Officer. First Officer will be niche, right? Because now after he uses his watch, he gets an 8% decoding debuff as, like, you know, if the hunter baits the watch, let's just say. But also when he rescues, meanwhile using the watch, if he gets hit in Mirage, however you say it, he stays in Mirage. He stays in the Mirage, right? So he can guarantee to rescue, and he will still have his, like, even if he gets hit, he has 5 seconds to reach the chair. Like, by the time he gets his second hit, which is really lucky, you know, what else can we say? Like, what else can we say? He can definitely rescue. He can just pull the stopwatch again to activate it after he gets hit. He's like a guarantee rescue, except when he gets chair shocked, which is really rare. I know it's really rare, but it does happen. Compared to Mercy and Forward, he's like 3rd to 4th place overall, but I say he's on par with GK, but he's a niche overall. He's niche overall in current meta. We've seen like the Japanese players using him as well in IBS. Moving on, we will have Barmaid. Barmaid will be considered as a really high niche, right? I'm about to put her on Priestess on Friends. But I won't. But because of Flywheel, she's like the best kiter now. Like the best solar kiter now. She's better than Magician. Just the best solar kiter now. All, to be fair, that's what I think. Because of Flywheel, of course, you can definitely get your health back on time. And it's really annoying to the current meta where like all metas, hunters are single hit. So yeah. I can't really say much. She's just niche overall. Now Priestess and Friends, because she doesn't have any capability of Cypher Rush. She does have the capability of giving a Dublin, but that's kind of the reason why she's not on Priestess and Friends, because it requires too much. If you know what I mean. You need to be there waiting for them. Compared to Priestess, you can just put the portal there and they can just take it anytime. Moving on, we'll have Postman. Postman will be considered a niche. Maybe a little bit higher than Cordy because he's a slow control, slow debuff. No, small debuff, slow control, small debuff character with Wick. But because of his, decoding letter towards the rescuers, that's a 40% decode for both him and his other teammates added together, which is why he's really good in the current meta because of his Cypher Rush capability. Also, his solo kite isn't too bad. He can give himself window speed buff and he can just bring Flywheel, and he has Wick to help out as well on the kite, which is why Postman is overall niche. I don't really need to explain niche overall unless they're new niches. I need to explain Tide Turner, Hearts of Champion, and Benchwarmers just so I can give out my POV, so I don't have people attacking me instead of criticizing me. I'm joking. Okay, next we'll have GK. GK will be niche as well on the rescuing community. Better than First Officer in my personal opinion because he's a guaranteed 3 hit. If the rescuer decides to hit a shovel for him, he can take at least 2 more hits before he downs. But by the time that happens, he probably already reached the chair. And also his burrow makes him move faster underground by 10%, so it's a bit harder for hunters to catch up. He doesn't get punished if he uses his shovel too early, or if he gets baited, right? But it does get reduced, but he still has 2 shovels. And he can change in between shovels as well, right? So it doesn't mean okay, I used 1 shovel, oopsie doopsie. Now I won't use the shovel. Now, I need to be careful when rescuing, because if I shovel too early, I will come out too early, right? But no, this doesn't apply with GK. If he uses his shovel too early, he can immediately switch to the other shovel. He'll have a max shovel. If I'm not wrong, of course. Which is why that's overall great, and overall great for starting time on chair. And when he gets out of burrow mode, he gets a 20. I think he gets a 30% rescuing buff, right? He rescues pretty darn fast, which is really hard for you to mind game and get the terror shock on, which is why GK is above First Officer in my opinion. Moving on, we will have Prisoner. Prisoner became niche for me probably here. His he got a decoding adjustment, but also he got his stun adjustment, stun buff, let's say. He guarantees a electrocution after first chair, so he gets 1 electrocution, and then when he gets chaired, after he gets rescued, he's guaranteed a second one, and then after he gets chaired again, he's guaranteed a third one. So he's guaranteed a 3 electrocution in the whole match, right? Because it's 45 seconds, and tie time, if you consider it in tie time, that's another 40 seconds. So you've 100 seconds. It takes 45 seconds to get 1, or even 60 seconds to get 1. 60, yada yada. I'm not gonna do the math here. He gets at least guaranteed 3, and he can just bring Flywheel instead of Windows instead, because he's a tight kiter decoder main now, I guess. So yeah, he's overall great at decoding, great at kiting, not that good of observer, kite turner character, but that's not what he's there for. He's there just to do his job as a decoder and as a kiter if he gets chased. Cypher Rush in general. Moving on, we will have Painter. I will put Painter on Heartstock Champion, right? Cause Painter just gets countered by excitement. Of course you're gonna be who brings excitement against a Painter? You're looking at one right now. Sorry. Once once spawn picking is a thing, if you spawn near a painter and you want to bring excitement against the painter, he's basically dead. He's basically rendered as useless. After getting the first hit, if he doesn't get his painting up on time, then he's screwed. But when he does get his painting up on time, excitement downed, yada yada, he doesn't have his painting for the rebound kite. If he gets hit during high time, he can't paint. So for me, painter is a hardstyle champion. He's a little bit, he's average, right? But not below average. Like, he's not underwhelming like Dr. Gardner or Wildling, but he's kind of just a little bit below average in my opinion. You're not really a guaranteed tie, but if Survivor wants, they can rescue you like they can rescue you really early and like help you take the hit and help you rebound kite as much as possible, so then you will have like 2 paintings. But and like, you know, if you're down really fast, they can just sell you, because he doesn't have this chair thing. He doesn't have over half chair, so they can just sell you, right? But like painter overall, a little bit underwhelming in the current meta right now, where like it's all chase hunters that are meta. Moving on, we will have Entomologist. I was about to skip her. Ento will be considered as a niche tier. Let's put her here. Let's put her here above Ench. I'd say Ento is probably a better harasser compared to Ench. Well, she's not really a harasser. She's like a supporter when it comes to Kai. She can use her bees to like push hunters away, force hunters to hit the bees and bait the hits from the bees, yada yada, so then the bees doesn't get reduced. But like, her overall presence is annoying as a support kiter and as a kiter herself. She's also a rescuer. She's like flywheel rescuer, or like, you know, just like you can run flywheel on her, you can run anything on her overall. Let's just be honest on that part. So yeah, she can support kite, she can kite really well, and she decodes pretty fast. Well, she's a normal average decoding speed, well, that's considered a fast, like, you know, average decodes fast now in IDV, alongside Rush to be like that. Moving on, we will have Batter. Batter will be considered as a niche. Because he, let me see, I'll probably put Batter like here. Yeah, here. I'll put Batter like here, right above Magician. He has 3 balls to use. He can enter Berserk mode to increase his vaulting speed and to stun a hunter and to immediately refresh his balls, and to harass when and if he misses a ball, he can immediately refresh to harass for the next ball, etc, etc. I think he's just great overall as a kiter, as a harasser, tie turner, OB, observer character. But there's really not, like, the only debuff about him is his decoding, but like most of the times survivors can kite 60 seconds, and then when he goes rescue, he harasses the hell out of the hunters, which is why he's like niche. He's not Priestess and Friends because there's still like, you know, he's not really like on that tier just yet, but he is really on the niche. He's really on the niche. The mall Priestess and Friends will always be the 5 on top. Moving on. Well, I mean, I wanted to put Barmaid on top, but I hesitated a little bit on that. But moving on, Lucky Guy will be considered as a tie turner now. Now you may be wondering why, and I will give you the reason why. Because of Thief's flashlight adjustment, Lucky Guy can become a mini Cordy Thief. Imagine a mini Cordy Thief. Imagine a Lucky Guy with flashlight for 30 seconds protecting the survivor, and then like before he gets hit, he guns immediately, and then he flashlights, and then like by the time all that is done, the one whoever you charge is like 10,000 miles away. Which is what I believe, like, Lucky Guy, like, is he a good kiter? Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. He's not better than Cowboy at kiting, that's for sure. But the only reason why he's above Cowboy is because of his observer, you know, survivor characteristics. You have the thief, you have the, what you say, you have the thief flashlight, you have the gun, and if you're a survivor to help them rebound kite. I think he's just great overall, to be fair with you on that point. Which is why, like, Lucky Guy is not tie turner anymore, simply because after Thief's buff, right? But like, you need to be skilled at playing Lucky Guy if you're deciding to run Lucky Guy like that. Okay, I'm putting this out there as well. So yeah, now then, moving on, we will have Weeping Clown. Weeping Clown will be considered as a tie turner as well. Now, lo and behold, he's not benchwarming anymore because of Flywheel. And lo and behold, he's not benchwarmer after more because, you know, people have like shown me the other side of Weeping Clown, which I'm like, oh, okay, that does make sense. I was wrong. Yeah, I think I was wrong on the benchwarming side. He's considered as a Titan because he's an observer character himself. So once after he gets rescued, he can immediately rocket dash away. Like, pew pew, bye bye, I'm 10,000 miles away from you. Come and catch up to me if you can. And it's gonna be like, of course you may say like, oh, Geisha, BQ. But also at the end of the day, when Geisha dashes, she stops for 1 second. When BQ pulls out the mirror, this guy can just speed boost himself for 1 second and outside mirror range. It hurts. It really does hurt. So he's considered as an observer character for himself only, but he can also be an observer character for other survivors and teammates. But that's taking a lot of manpower to like get just this one person alive. So it really depends how the Weeping Clown plays. Moving on, we will have little girl. Little girl. I don't really know what to say for a little girl. Let's say she's a tie turner. Let's say she's a tie turner, but like below, right? Cause let's imagine, because of spawn picks, if little girl spawns near the hunter, that's okay. She can immediately teleport away. She does have this time. She does have time. I believe she definitely does have time. Just immediately press teleport button. Hunter probably can't even catch up to you because it takes quite a while to catch up to you. She's a tie turner only when someone successfully harasses, right? Like balloon rescue. Okay. Little girl successfully balloon rescued by Cowboy. Immediately leech onto that damn Cowboy, and then the Cowboy will be kiting. Right? That's what I'm thinking right there. She's an okay, like she's also a tie turner too because she can leech onto survivors who are like, you know, half health and then help them kite even longer because if the survivor has no items that are being chased, little girl is there to help. And little girl buffs not pallet dropping, but like vaulting, decoding, etc, etc. She's a So, in my opinion, she's a tie turner. She's not benchwarming anymore. Thanks to the community for showing me a new light of LG. But like, you don't see her much, but she is still there in IVL, etc, etc. If she gets first chased, of course, you can just leech onto someone, and bye bye, there you go, the Merc. Onto the Merc we go. Moving on, we will have Novelist. Novelist is a little bit hard for me to judge right now because there's like little to no Novelist players because of Thief's existence. Novelist gets countered by looking back, like by looking back, let's just say. Just by like survivors hunters turn their back on him. And like after his debuff, like he's definitely not bad, but he's only on the bench warming community because Thief isn't a thing. Right, only because Thief is a thing. If Thief wasn't a thing, then like Novelist will probably be on the tie turner side. But because Thief is a thing, Novelist is on benchwarmer because Thief is better than Novelist, in my lo and behold personal opinion. Yeah, you are welcome to argue against that, rebel against that. Moving on, we have Psychologist, niche, 3 hits, tank 3 hits, no problem. Global heal, no problem. Really, nothing much more or less I can say. Patient, 3 hooks, able to kite for quite a long time. If he gets rescued, he can immediately hook away. He's guaranteed a 3 cipher kite at the end of the day. She is a very good pair with Psychologist. You know, the extra skill there with the distance closing between the hunter and the survivor who is being chased. All in all, I don't need to say much about Psycho and Patient. Moving on, we will have Toy Merchant is still niche. It's like there's really good catapult areas to be placed, and when you jump on catapult now, you don't get like the jump doesn't get cancelled even if you get hit, which is her recent adjustment. Well, buff, which is great, right? It's just great. Nothing more or less I can say about TM. She's just really strong kiter, really strong rescuer. And not too bad tie turner. Not too bad tie turner. Moving on, am I missing anyone? Moving on, we will have Professor. Professor will be counted as niche tier as well. Because of Flywheel's existence, Flywheel allows Professor to contain for a much longer period of time. Because of Professor's innate skill, the attack animation has been slowed down, so the chances of him winning a Palish camping mind game is very high, and like when the hunter does their attack animation, if they decide to go a little bit close towards the palette, Professor will know, because it's easier to distinguish when it's a really slow attack animation. Put the palette down to cut you longer. Like even if he misses his shell shock, he still has flywheel that's there for him. But even if he gets down early, he still has shell shock right after chair, because you know it's only 45 seconds after you miss, so you still have quite a high opening on rebound kiting, which is my opinion on Professor. Moving on, we will have Antiquarian. I'm gonna put her on she's Priestess on Friends. I am not sorry for saying this at all. She's getting a nerf soon, but it's not now, but she's still Priestess on Friends. She decodes like an average decoder, but no, average kiter, so she's basically fast decoding. She's also a really good balloon rescuer, because she can immediately she doesn't need to immediately tree. She can take her time with her tree bamboo staffs, with her tree staffs. So that's like a 5-second stun already for the survivors to rebound kite. She's also a really strong kiter herself, because of her bamboo sticks. Like she can disarm the hunter for 15 seconds. And like her cooldown for the sticks are 15 seconds, if not 20 seconds, if I'm not wrong, but it's definitely not 25 seconds, right? And most survivors pair her up with flywheel, so she's really Priestess on Friends. I really can't say much. Good rescuer, good decoder, good kiter, good kite turner character. Brilliant overall. I don't know what kind of nerf she's gonna get, but she's really good. Really good. Better than Batter. Why? Just is, I guess. I can't really explain that, just is. Maybe I'm too biased, but that's simply what I think. And am I missing anyone? I don't think I am missing anyone, but this is it for Survivor Tier List for Season 22. I will see you in Survivor Tier List for Hunter Tier List for Season 23. Of course, if you have your own opinion or you want to rebuttal against some of my arguments, then please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you still haven't. I'm not doing this. I refuse to do this. But yeah, if you enjoyed, why not drop me a like? And hey, if you're new around here, why not sub? I'll see you all in the next Hunter Tier List. Well, Hunter Tier List for Season 22. Anyways, kudos and thank you for staying here. I hope no one's attacking. Listen, I wanted to spectate NAEU and give NAEU gameplays, but then I realized that people will attack said player, so I just decided to put CM. These are all Happy Butt. Credits to Happy Butt, but a happy guy, by the way, for these videos. I just took it off his channel. But yeah. Bye-bye.